Hi, in this video we are going to cover our next project, which is creating a business logo. So for this project you are going to create a logo for a fictional company. You get to make up the company and you get to design the logo in Illustrator. So as long as it's school appropriate, you can come up with any idea you want. So it could be a pizza shop, a coffee shop, an ice cream shop, a bakery. It could be a company that specializes in farm products or makeup products. It could be a vet clinic. It could be a snowboarding shop. It could be a fishing shop, zip lining tour company. You could sell four-wheelers or hair products or whatever you want, again, as long as it's school appropriate. So what you're going to do is you're going to start out by brainstorming your ideas. You're going to thumbnail those ideas or sketch them on paper, and then you're going to develop your logo in Illustrator. And as you are designing your logo, make sure you keep in mind all the things that we've learned in Illustrator. So we have covered quite a bit of stuff. And when you are creating your images, make sure you keep all of those things in mind, such as using the shape tools and the pen tool and all of that stuff. But we'll cover that in a little bit more depth here coming up. So your first step is actually on paper. So it's going to be brainstorming and thumbnailing. What you need to do is you need to first decide on your concept for your business. So what type of business do you want to make this logo for? Do you want it to be a coffee shop? If you do, there you go. You have your concept decided on. Then you just need to start thumbnailing. Thumbnailing includes brainstorming ideas for your logo. So again, this is on paper, and what you're going to do is you're going to sketch out at least 4 different ideas for your logo. So we call those thumbnails. And 4 honestly isn't a lot, but we'll start there. I would probably do at least 12 if I were doing a logo for a company, but 4 is a good place to start. It's always nice to do more than one idea. Like, don't just go with your first initial idea. That way you have a chance to explore some other options and make sure that your idea is the best one that you could possibly come up with. The requirements for this logo are the following. It needs to have text, so that would be the name of the business and or any other information. So in this one that I just kind of put together for this project, I have Ella's Bakery, so that's my text obviously. If I wanted to, I could put a slogan or something down on the bottom here. So your first requirement is the text. Your second requirement is some type of imagery. So for this one, I created this cupcake image. So that's what I mean. So if you're going to do a pizza shop, you need to create a slice of pizza or, a whole pizza or whatever the case may be. But you need to create some type of imagery for this logo. So like I mentioned, you are going to start out by drawing your thumbnails on paper, and then you are going to take a phone pic of those and upload that phone pic to Classroom. Once you have all 4 of your thumbnails drawn out, choose one of those thumbnails that you're going to use for this logo. Once you're at that point, you can now open up Illustrator. So we'll go to File and New, and the size of the document that we are going to use for this is 6 inches square. So 6 inches by 6 inches, RGB color mode. Hit Create. And then our first step, and you could kind of see what I was working on right there. I got messed up a little bit, so I need to change that color. But we're going to create a color theme. So to do that, you can just choose your rectangle tool and draw out a rectangle. So I will start with about that size. The size is kind of irrelevant. You don't want it to take up the entire space, but you don't want it to be too small either. And you could actually create that and put it off to the side of your artboard here, just to keep it out of your way if you want. So if you wanted to, you could actually go to color.adobe.com and choose your color theme here. We have explored that just a little bit, so if you wanted to, you could use that as your resource and a way to choose your color theme. You don't have to, but just be aware that that is there if you need it. If you do go ahead and use this, then you have your hex numbers right here, so you can just click and drag out there and Control C to copy that, and then pop back into Illustrator, double click on that color swatch, and Control V right there, and that should paste that color in. So there we go. We have a nice little start here. So again, if you want to use color.adobe.com, that's great. If you don't want to, it's not a requirement, so don't worry about it. Okay, so now I have my first color swatch. I'm going to press Alt and click and drag out a copy. What I actually should have done is remove that stroke first. I guess it doesn't really matter. You can have a stroke on these, I suppose, but you don't need it. So actually, I want to eliminate that stroke. Okay, So you have the option to use a maximum of 5 colors for this project. The minimum number of colors is 2. So I'm going to use the maximum, which is 5, because I want a lot of sprinkles on my cupcakes and I want to make those sprinkles all different colors. So I'll choose a bunch of different colors. I will choose a darker shade of teal or aqua or whatever, kind of a yellow. That's perfect right there. And then 2 kind of in the pinkish family, bright pink, and we'll go kind of a darker, maybe more on the purple end, something like that. So if you were able to import your color theme previously, then that would pop up right here if you saved it in color.adobe.com at that website. But we ran into troubles with that before. So if you're able to do it, great. If not, don't worry about it. We'll just do that this way. Okay, so actually what I want to do now is I want to add these colors to my color library. So I'm going to I just clicked on this little swatch up here, choose new color group, and you can name that for this project. So I'm going to name mine bakery and hit OK. And now I have that color group right down here. And now I'm going to start adding all of my colors in there. That way I have them at my disposal. So I'll click there and hit this new swatch button. That pops that color in that I have selected right there. Hit OK. Do the same thing with my yellow. So new swatch, hit OK. And that actually popped it in up there. If it does, don't worry about it. You can drag that down here. So no big deal there. So click on my next swatch, click on that folder, hit new, hit OK. And we have one more. So click down here, new color swatch, and there we go. So all 5 of my colors are right in there if I want to access them that way. I also have them right here if I ever need them. Okay, so now I'm going to start out with, I'll start out with sort of the background of my logo. So I created this one using this square and the diamond. I just wanted to show you that you could create your logo sort of within its own sort of container. So that's an option for you. For this next one here, why don't I create it within an ellipse? And you can create yours using a perfect circle, or you can flatten that circle a little bit. It's up to you. So I will go with the flattened circle. I'm going to change the color to, we'll go with that darker one. And let's change that stroke actually too, and we'll go with yellow. If you want to change the options for your stroke, those are over here in this little area. It looks like a stroke, right? So we have our stroke options over here, and you can change the weight or the way that's adjusted. So if you click on this and all that pops up is this right here, just hit these little lines over here and hit show options, and then you should get all these options over here. So you can change the way it aligns, and honestly you can go ahead and experiment with that a little bit. We're not going to talk about that too much at this point. Okay, so there we go. We have a start. So my next thing, I'm actually going to, I'll add the text in. So I'm just going to type in, I'll use the same name as what I used before. So I'm going to type in Ella's, and I will put them in separate text boxes. So I'm going to type in Ella's and bakery, but in separate text boxes so that I can rearrange them if I want to. So I will increase the size of this. I'll go pretty big. And what color should I make this? Let's go bright pink, because why not, right? Actually, I'll go the darker purple. Nope, brighter pink. A little more contrast there. Okay, I'm actually just going to copy this. So I'm pressing and holding Option, and I'm going to click and drag that down. And then I will change that to bakery. And the reason why I copy it instead of creating a new text box is because it keeps all of my formatting for that text consistent. So that is why I do that. Just FYI. Okay, so now I have the text, and I will definitely rearrange it later. I'm going to take these, and I'll actually probably leave those over there. I'm going to create my cupcake now, and I could increase the size of my artboard if I want to, just to give myself some more working room. I'm going to decrease the size of the artboard back down when I'm all done, but I just need a little bit more room to work with right now. So let's make our cupcake. I'm going to start at the bottom and work my way up. So I will create that ellipse. That is this bottom curve of my cupcake. I'll do that there, and then I will okay, there we go. I have my cupcake ready to go. I'm going to select all of these, and I'm going to go to Object. It's actually grouped already. Otherwise, I will go to Object and group all of that together. So I can collapse that here in my Layers panel. So I will drag that over to the side here. I'm going to decrease the size of my artboard back down. So I'm going to click on my artboard tool and click and drag over this side until I get back to 6 inches and release my artboard tool. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to zoom in a little bit. So Control plus on my keyboard. Okay, so now I have to just kind of rearrange everything and get it in the spot that I want. I need my cupcake to go backwards and my text to come forward. So I can go up to Object, Arrange, Bring to Front for my text. That one should be fine right there. So now it's just a matter of playing with the placement of everything. So I'll rearrange everything until I get it into a spot that I like, and I kind of like that right there. Okay, so there we go. My first draft is actually done. So I would go ahead and save this as my first name, last name, logo, first draft. I know that's a lot, but add all that stuff in, please.